What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Shep's Garage video. You joined me with my MK8 GTI at dusk because we were doing a part 5 of the hidden features, tips, and tricks on the MK8 GTI and Golf R, and today's episode is going to be specifically to do with things you will notice at night. So this is just why I'm filming it at dusk, obviously. This is by far one of my most popular series, and I thought, you know what, I've been noticing all these things at night. I thought I may as well share them with you guys because you guys may find them cool as well. Now, unfortunately, this may be the last episode of the series because after this, I don't know what else I'm going to find with this car, but if you guys have anything I haven't mentioned yet, comment them down below. If you think it'll be useful for other MK8 owners, let me know, and I'll be sure to make a part 6 of this series. But first, if you're new to the channel, this is the first time seeing my face on your screen, consider subscribing down below for more awesome MK8 GTI content, other car content. I'm trying to become a full-time YouTuber, and I cannot do it without your guys' support. You guys have been smashing the content lately and sharing that support, and I really do appreciate it. Also, side note, sorry for the delay in uploads. I've been busy with school, but also because I have had a cold for the past week, but I'm finally on the mend and almost better, so I can finally film another video again. So let's get started with these tips, tricks, and hidden features with the MK8 GTI and Golf R. Now, like I said, this has to do with features you will find at night. So majority of these features you will only find, well, in the dark, which, you know, is like, well, half the day basically, depending on where you are and where your MK8 is. However, right now it is around 5 p.m. in Massachusetts, and unfortunately, daylight savings time, it is still getting dark this early. But let's get started with this first feature or hidden detail, and that is the interior light show when you lock and unlock the car. This is something I don't think many owners notice, and I noticed this one day and I thought it was super cool, so let me share with you guys. Now, obviously, when you unlock the car and lock the car, the exterior lights turn on, the puddle lamps turn on, and the door handle lights turn on. And the same thing opposite when you lock the car. When you lock the car, the lights on the side fade out, and then the lights here and on the front turn off. However, there is actually interior light show that goes on when you lock and unlock the car. This is actually pretty cool. So this interior light show happens with the ambient lighting here. So watch right here. So I'm gonna lock myself in the car to sort of demonstrate this, but you can see the lights when you exit, they pulse red and then they fade off, and then when you unlock the car, they pulse white and then fade back on. Super cool. Ready? So I'm gonna lock the car. You can see it pulses red everywhere, and then it fades off, just like that. Then, when you unlock the car, they pulse white or orange, and then it goes back to the normal color that you have it set at. Pretty cool detail. I wonder why they put the effort into this in the interior of the car, literally when you're not in the car when this happens, and not the exterior of the car, because Audi, for example, has the exterior light show, and some other German auto manufacturers have the exterior light show. I know our Q8 has that feature, but I wonder why they put the effort into the interior of this car. Oh, I just went dark. And not the exterior of this car. Now, let's get ready to share the second feature. So let's hop on in to the car here. And these two also have to do with lighting as well, which is kind of a theme at night, obviously. So let's turn on the car quickly. Beautiful exhaust note right there. So, if we come over here to the lighting panel, which is over here, as you can see it right there. Now, this car, obviously, you guys know, has some sort of gesture control. So you guys, I've shared this in the past before, but when you bring your hands closer, it depicts icons up on the screen, and compared to when you're away from the screen. So it kind of has some sensor like this, as you can see, with all the gestures right here. So that's pretty cool. Well, this little panel here also has gestures. When you bring your hand closer, it illuminates. I don't know if you can kind of see on camera, but if you bring your hand closer to here, it will illuminate brighter, and then when you take your hand away, it will go back to a little more dim again. I'll do it again. maybe it's picking it up, I'm not sure, but I don't know. This is something I kind of noticed because, I don't know, it's kind of cool at the same time. I don't know, like how it kind of knows your hand is here. I don't know, just something I noticed, pretty cool. Another interesting feature in this car that has to do with lighting has to do with how to get your gauge cluster a different color from the exterior lighting. So if you go into the lighting section of this car under ambient lights, you can see you can have it set to an array of colors and different ways you can adjust your brightness and section off your lighting and things like that. Well, if you put it on, if you scroll this top dial right over here, this little dot, all the way over to here, you can see that the interior is, this little gauge cluster here is red, and you can take a look, all my lights are white, on the top here at least. All of them are white. But if you go to any other color, for example, like green, you can see that, well, it kind of goes with the gauge cluster. So no matter what, the gauge cluster turns colors, like no matter what color you choose. It's only on this setting where you could have this a different color and this a different color. I'm still trying to figure out why Volkswagen did this, because it's so strange to find, you know, your gauge cluster can be a different color in this setting, but not in the other setting. Kind of strange, but just one thing I noticed. Another quick side note, another thing I noticed at night is, I know how people said obviously this isn't illuminated, but the power button for the screen is illuminated. Did not anyone else not notice this? Because this is so strange how Volkswagen obviously put the effort into having this little button here illuminated, but not any of these sliders illuminated. Seems like it wasn't a problem, right? Like this wasn't a like issue, right? Like they didn't want to do this, but they probably just said, let's not put the money into it. And that's probably why it wasn't illuminated. And you know, that's just one thing I noticed, that like they physically could have done that, but they didn't, and it's probably because it's just another cost-cutting move. And I made another video talking about that too, of all the cost cutting they did on this car, and that's just a big theme with this car, is cost cutting, unfortunately. Still a great car though, I love it. Now another feature that I've found which is kind of cool, which is how to hide these little panels up on the screen here completely for a temporary amount of time or indefinitely, and that is simply to hold the view button. Now why would you want to do this? Well, if you're in like the driver assistance screen, for example, and you want, or the full screen map, and you want to see everything, hold down the view button and for about 3 seconds, and it goes completely away. You don't have to cycle through everything and wait for everything to disappear and everything. You just hold the view button and these little panels here completely disappear. I don't know, it's just something I find pretty interesting, pretty cool as well. Yeah, if you want to hide them, you can, and yeah, that's how you do it. Just press that view button and you're all set. And that also actually goes for the heated steering wheel button. If you have the heated steering wheel button on full and you want to go completely off quickly, hold it down for 3 seconds and it turns it off. So that's another neat feature. So these little shortcuts, well, they save you time, especially with all the touch capacitive controls. It may get kind of annoying over time, but these shortcuts definitely make these buttons to use a little bit easier. While we were on the topic of useful, I want to touch upon this feature that I found super useful, and that is how to have the car automatically turn on your heated seat or the heated steering wheel, or your cooled seat if you have the leather seats in this car. Now some people, when you turn on this car in really cold weather, it lags like crazy and it takes forever to turn the air conditioning or the heating on, because, well, it's all in the bed and the touchscreen, and this infotainment system sucks, unfortunately. However, here's how you can turn it on without having to go through all that mess. Just as soon as you turn on the car, boom, it's on. If you tap the Climate button right here and then go into the top right hand corner, go to settings, you can go into climate control settings, and here you can have your seat heating you can set everything in here, your seat heating, your seat ventilation, and the steering wheel heating, all three here. I like to have it off because I just blast my heat when I turn on my car in the morning, and well, I don't find it super useful. But in the really cold days when it's like less than 10 degrees, I do set this before I leave the car, and I find it super useful. So there's a little trick if you live in a really cold place like Vermont, or Texas is not very cold. I don't know why I said Texas, or Maine, or anywhere in the Northeast basically where you get snow. Michigan, there we go. This feature will definitely be useful to you. I'm sure most people notice already too, but you can actually also pick your clock that like shows up here when you exit the car. You can see you have like a digital and analog, a more simple analog, and then a more GTI looking analog. So yeah, I know I leave it on this one because, you know, I'm a Gen Z and I only know how to read time with numbers, so yeah. And so that is mainly everything I have found with this car in part 5, and everything that has to do relating to lighting and any cool features that I found. I'm sorry if this part 5 is a little bit more underwhelming than the other parts. You know, I kind of lived with this car for 3 years. I feel like I found everything, but there's probably still some other stuff out there. But if I didn't mention anything in these past 5 series, past 5 episodes, if you have watched all of them, comment other features down below, and I'll be sure to share those features with you guys, and well, I'll shout you out as well, because, you know, why not? It's good to be making videos again. I said in the beginning of this video, I was sick and schoolwork and everything, but more content coming soon. I look forward to sharing all of that with you guys very soon. So thank you so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.